This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
The other thing that I saw in the press conference, and that to me, that was another thing that I liked about his comments, talking about how they're confident in the process right now and how they expect, that fans should feel good about it and that they feel like they're prepared. And I got to tell you something. I like that coming from Chris Grier. I do. I like that coming from your general manager, because he's not sounding like he's scared. He's not sounding like he's nervous about the situation. And he's also displaying confidence for the fan base, because this is a guy that's been around for 15 years now. And the part that I know some of you like to turn it in the negative, and I keep telling you that it's actually a positive, because people keep him around because obviously he must be giving good advice to all the other guys in the past. And I think that Chris has a lot of hindsight in all of this. You have to realize that he has been able to sit back and watch everybody else screw up and watch everybody else make all the wrong moves all the time, and watch how one coach has gotten himself in hot water, one general manager after another. He's watched the bickering, he's watched the power struggles, all of that. And notice how he was never involved in any of that stuff. When we were talking about Jeff Ireland and Sperano and all this stuff, and the redheaded lady, I forgot her name, and everything going on, and Phil, and when Sperano wasn't there, and all the bickering and backstabbing and all, you never heard Chris Grier. Okay? You never heard Chris Grier ever involved in any of that. It didn't matter who was fighting with who. Grier wasn't involved. He's been able to sit back and watch all of this. And since he took over, he brought in a guy in Marvin Allen that he's known forever. He brought in a guy in Reggie McKenzie that he's known forever. He brought in a guy in Brian Flores that he's known forever. He brought in people that he is comfortable with. And that's why he's confident, because he knows these people. He's been talking with them for years. I mean, Marvin Allen played for his dad. So while, his dad was a personnel guy and Marvin Allen goes through the Patriots system, there's Chris Grier as a young guy watching all of this. So he knows Marvin Allen. So he knows what Marvin Allen's done and his track record, and Reggie McKenzie. And he's watched ego after ego fight against each other in the Dolphin building. And again, never involved in any of this. These are the things that people don't notice. They don't look at this and all that stuff. But fortunately, I've been around the team for a long, long time, so I get to notice all these things, and I get to pass it on to you guys. And I keep trying to explain to people, but I get it. Whatever, you're jaded and you don't want to believe that the Dolphins are headed in the right direction. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Time will prove it all. But you watch how there's not going to be any finger pointing. There's not going to be any fighting. The egos are checked on the side. And we've talked about this. These men know how important all of this is. They know that this is imperative to their existence. Okay? They got to all have success. So they're going to work together. And in 1 year, they eliminated a roster that, let's just say if you kept everybody together, what do they win? 7, 8, 9 games? You won 5. With no talent and a whole bunch of young guys. And that's because they stayed the course. And we kept telling you on this show, they're not tanking. They're going to keep building through youth. It'll take a while. They'll turn things around, but they're building a culture. They get the young people to believe in it. They keep the good ones. They filter out the bad ones. They're not bad, but you know what I mean. They don't feel they're good enough to play, so they'll keep the good ones. Because I don't want to make it sound like they're good human beings and bad human beings. That's ridiculous. But you know what I'm saying. And that's why you have to look at it for what it is. And this is a great situation right now. And you got guys that are working together. And they not only want to succeed for the Miami Dolphins and their fans, but for themselves too. And Reggie McKenzie's a guy that's coming out of a place where they screwed him over. He did a really good job with the Raiders, and they screwed him over. Marvin Allen's a guy that has done a really good job giving good advice to people in other organizations, and they've had a lot of success. I think Chris Grier said yesterday, and Marvin Allen's like missed the playoffs like 2 or 3 years in his whole career. But if you look at the organizations he's been a part of, okay. And then Brian Flores is a guy that's paid his dues with New England for a long, long time. And, you know, I know we can't say he's arrived or anything, but in his first year, damn, he was impressive. Damn, he was impressive. And then what we've tried, those of you that have been with us every day, you've heard me say this before. Some of you new folks here the last couple of days, last couple of weeks here, last month, that obviously we've had a lot of new people that I keep explaining to people, look at what Chris Grier has done in the last year. Have you ever seen that, ever, in a Dolphins team? No. And you have to go back to Jimmy Johnson for the wheeling and dealing. That what he did last year to get Rosen, and I know in hindsight now, it doesn't look like a great move because Rosen hasn't come through, but to be there and say, well, should I just draft my second rounder, or do I make it into 2 second rounders? It's the kind of crap that nobody ever did for Miami. He did it. All right, let me try a QB, and I'll get my second rounder next year. I'm not in a hurry. So he uses intelligence and patience to rebuild the team. Try for a quarterback that was a top 10 pick. Doesn't work out. I'm not paying anything for him. I still get my second rounder the following year. I just deferred it for a year. No big deal. We're good. Those are smart things. What he did with Devontae Parker was extremely smart. Tying him to a 2-year deal, then he performs, and he and his agent don't want to come back on that second year because they risk injury. So he gets him on a team-friendly 4-year deal. These are smart things, man. Eliminating the bad salaries, loading up the draft picks. All the things that he's done, nobody has done, because Ireland didn't do this, and Spielman didn't do this, and Mueller didn't do this, and whoever else has been in place has never done it. Because he's more about what we're doing now in today's NFL. You know what I mean? And that's why I keep telling people that you got to understand that there's a different element going on right now with the Dolphins. It's a different type of team. It's a different front office.